southern sun. Rubber burns and the race has begun. Enters Racing League, the speed is our creed. Fuel the fire, we're born to lead. Lights go green and the world's a blur. Chasing glory, feel the engine purr. Wheels keep spinning, hearts on fire. Chasing the thrill, climbing higher and higher. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. Racing lights. Purse dry heat, the asphalt sings beneath our feet. Every corner, every turn we own. Enters Racing League is home. No brakes, no fear, we own this track. Push the limit, no turning back. Faster, stronger, we're breaking through. Enters Racing League, it's what we do. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race. It's in my under the southern sun. Rubber burns and the race has begun. Enters Racing League, the speed is our creed. Fuel the fire, we're born to lead. Lights go green and the world's a blur. Chasing glory, feel the engine purr. Wheels keep spinning, hearts on fire. Chasing the thrill, climbing higher and higher. We are the speed, we are the light. Enters Racing League, tearing through the night. Circuit kings with a need for pace. This is our time, this is our race.
Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the waiting is over. Draft night is here for Inters Racing League Season 9. Can't wait to get this one underway. I am Scotty. I'll be one of your hosts for this evening's action. And alongside me, it is the one and only Broseph Coop. Broseph, how are you on this lovely Sunday afternoon?
Mate, I'm doing fantastic, Scotty. Of course, always pumped for another draft, and we're here for Season 9, Inters Racing League. Can't wait to get this one kicked off and, see how the excitement unfolds.
Yeah, and having a look at the draft pools, there's a lot of great talent for all three tiers. Unfortunately, a few drivers will miss out, but obviously it's going to be a tough ask for the TPs to decide how they'll work out sort of who they want for their team. Obviously, I know some drivers, some TPs got a little bit unlucky with the lottery that we had last week. So we'll see what they can do in terms of trying to get the best drivers possible. But as I said, great talent on those lists.
Absolutely, mate. As you said, the tiers just stacked with talent. We saw probably last season in Season 8, Tier 2, bit of a standout there with probably the first 10 guys on the grid could have taken the win any week there. So, yep, really excited to see which guys are going to go first. And as you said, a few guys will miss out, but plenty of reserve spots will be there after the draft. And, you know, a few guys will drop out, and hopefully the reserves will get a spot to take a place in the team.
Yeah, and there's definitely a lot of races on the Season 9 calendar. We'll have a quick look at that now for everybody at home. So 18 races encompass Season 9, 3 break weeks, a couple of 2 sprints, 1 enduro. And Broseph, I like a look at that calendar. Fair few races, some interesting tracks on there, and can't wait to get underway.
Absolutely, as you said, a few more tracks on there this season with F125. I think the game's got a pretty good reception so far, so I think that's a good amount of tracks. Of course, kicking it off in Canada next weekend. Can't wait to get underway, but I think we're just about ready to go with the draft. We'll go through this, the team principles as well. But, yeah, mate, can't wait to get Season 9 underway.
Yeah, and you can see your TPs on screen now. Feisty lot, that pack of 10. A couple of returning TPs, a couple of newbies as well. I reckon some of them are going to be hungry to try and claim this overall championship this season.
No doubt about it. Look, there's got to be a standout there. Red Bull, Timmy has returned, the former Inters owner and founder of the league. He's won 2 championships before, so interesting to see how he drafts tonight and how the season unfolds for him. Also, Websy, last year's Tier 1, two seasons ago, the Tier 1 champion Websy, for Williams, the team principal. So interesting to see how he fares as a team principal.
Guess question I have to ask, how much pressure is on Devastator's shoulders? Checkered flag carrying that team to the last 2 overall constructors. Does Devo will he feel the pressure, or does he know that it's he can try his best, but Checkered has done such a fantastic job the last 2 seasons? Can he hope to match up to him?
Oh, mate, it's a big task, no doubt about it. Devastator, I think, has been putting in more work than any team principal, bar Timmy, with money on the table at the moment. So, yeah, good luck to Devastator trying to raise the bar from the Racing Bulls from the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and obviously Ferrari not being led by Battlecat either. So Aussie, he's got big shoes to fill as well.
Absolutely, yeah, stepping in for Battlecat there. And I know Battlecat's hoping to get drafted back into the Ferrari team. So Aussie 2K GOAT, he's been around the traps, and I'm sure he's going to draft well this evening.
Well, as you said, I think we're just about ready to go. So let's have a quick switch over to the Tier 1 draft. So you see the names on the left-hand side. Websy being the team principal and in a full-time spot. He's already selected himself in pick 18. So Williams looking to have a bit of a quick Tier 1 group, considering that he's got pick 3. But 19 spots available on the Tier 1 grid. So it should be interesting to see who unfortunately misses out, but also who claims the valuable pick 1 spot.
Yeah, no doubt about it. As you mentioned, Websy is going to slot himself into pick 18 in Tier 1. So he's got pick 3 for Williams. So, yeah, you'd have to think he's going to have a pretty outstanding team. Of course, Frizy, the new team principal for McLaren, has the number 1 overall pick in this evening's draft. So we do have a dedicated little section there for the team principals to write in their draft selections. I will be calling out the picks as they come in, and that's how the draft will unfold this evening. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as the drivers put their selections in. But that's how it's going to unfold this evening, Scotty.
Yeah, well, while we wait for those, the first lot of picks, just have a quick look at some of the names that are on that list. Checkered Flag, obviously no longer a TP, but obviously in the driver's seat only. But very, very quick towards the last game. I reckon he hasn't lost any pace this game. Farmer Sam as well. He'll be right up there. Meowsy, of course, was in the championship hunt for the last season. So Josh is very quick. Finns as well. He's been outstanding in a couple of the preseason races as well. Plenty of talent top end of Tier 1.
No doubt about it. Look, Aiden Riz as well. It's Anus Willybottom written there. Aiden Riziums as well. Like, honestly, he finished, I think, 3rd a couple of seasons ago. So, as you mentioned, Finns, Farmer Sam, but the pick is in. We do have the number 1 pick in for McLaren. So, without further ado, it is Meowsy. Meowsy is pick number 1 for McLaren. Congratulations, Meowsy.
Yeah, I think that was not too much of a surprise. I felt like he was going to easily go top 5. And he goes pick number 1. So, going to be one of the favourites coming into this season. So, but he joins McLaren. So, that's a fantastic pick 1 right there.
Yeah, and of course, the last 2 seasons with Ferrari was Meowsy. So in the McLaren, I'm sure he'll be happy to go into another quick car. So, all right, we'll move on. We've got pick number 2 for Haas. Obviously, Jetman, the team principal. The pick is in. Scotty, are you ready to go?
I am.
All right, number 2, Checkered Flag. Pick number 2 for Haas. That's a fantastic pick, and of course, the overall constructors last 2 seasons winner there.
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit different seeing him obviously in the Haas and not an RB.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, he probably won't know what to do with himself, but look, he's in the Haas, so as long as he can go fast in that car, I'm sure he'll be happy.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be ultra competitive as always up the top, and yeah, Checkered. Great pick from Jetman, and obviously Websy now. Who's going to be his teammate? That's going to be the big question.
That's exactly right. So we're going to move on to pick number 3 for Williams. So Websy, interesting selection here. He's gone with Finns. So Finns is going to Williams. Congratulations, obviously a OFI driver this season for Inters. Finns has just been outstanding in recent seasons, and pick number 3 overall, well deserved, Scotty.
Yeah, and that's a hell of a lineup, Finns and Websy for Williams. As I said, I think I saw someone in chat say, congratulations, Tier 1 constructors teams, and that's going to be a hell of a team to beat.
No doubt about it, mate. Those two lining up together week in, week out, look out. All right, we're going to move on to Sauber now. Obviously, Ashton, the team principal there, pick number 4. He's got it in, and he has selected Fat Cat Batman. So, new to the league, not sure too much about this driver, Scotty. Have you got any word on Fat Man?
Saw him race yesterday at the preseason race at Vegas, and he was ultra quick. Sort of heard that name a little bit in passing, but he impressed me with his pace last night at Vegas. So yeah, that's a great pick from Ashton, who obviously also raced as well. So could easily see the talent there for Ashton, and yeah, that's a great pick.
Yeah, Ashton would have done his homework there, no doubt about it. He's team principal around a lot of leagues around the circuit in Oceania. So, yep, congratulations to Fat Cat Batman. Pick number 5 for Mercedes. We've got Limitless Racco as the team principal, and of course, he did outstanding for RB last season. But his pick is in. His pick number 1, 5 overall for Merc is Jono. Congratulations, Jono. Pick number 5 there, mate, for Mercedes.
Yeah, and Jono looked really quick when he joined us in the second half of last season, really putting up the fight to the guys leading the championship last season. So that's a great pick up for Draco in the Merc.
Yeah, they'll be familiar too because Jono was a Checkered Flags teammate in RB, and of course Limitless was RB last season as well. So there's a bit of a connection between those two there. All right, we move on to pick number 6. We're looking at a Ferrari, obviously Aussie 2K GOAT. His pick is in, and he's going with another OFI driver for Inters Racing League this season. Standout Sir Joshy, who very consistent last season, and every season before that, Scotty, really.
Yeah, so Joshy really quick. So great pickup from Aussie there.
All right, he has the pace moving for you, Scotty. We're moving along all right.
Going good. Just making sure I'm getting the team lineups, which we'll show at the end of the stream. Going all right. Should be good to go. Ready for pick number 7 first from Ray.
Yep, so team principal from Aston Martin. The pick is in. Another favourite here, another very consistent Tier 1 driver, well known around the traps. He's gone with Zox.
Yeah, another very quick driver. So yeah, not surprising that he's gone top 7. So yeah, great pick there from the Aston Martin TP.
All right, now of course we've come to the pick that everyone's been waiting for. Timmy, the team principal for Red Bull, has returned. Pick number 8 overall in Tier 1 is going to be Kaio. So reunited. I'll let you know those two have been working together at Inters probably since season 1. They go way back, these two. So obviously a few chats before the season, and we'll see what that pick will get up to in the following week. So I know Kaio might be away for the first part of the season, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I believe he's away on a big holiday, so I think he misses sort of the first 4 rounds, which is a big chunk sort of to miss. But I think the reserve pool is definitely strong, so obviously has the opportunity to either get the reserve pool from Tier 1 or obviously bring one of his drivers up from Tier 2. So definitely opportunities to at least score points until Kaio comes back.
Absolutely, yep. Bit of a strategy there, I'd say. Okay, now we're going to move on to pick number 9 and pick number 10, of course, Racing Bulls, the team principal, Devastator. And I've got to say, fantastic picks here. Pick number 9 is going to be Aiden Rism, so Anus Willybottom, otherwise known as. Fantastic young driver. He's actually a go-karter for real and did so well in my team, Team Haas, a few seasons ago. I bought him a pair of gloves. Outstanding young kid. Pick number 10, back-to-back for RB. Pick number 10 will be Farmer Sam, another OFI driver there for Inters. So congratulations there, Farmer Sam.
That's a hell of a lineup. Addy Williams and Farmer Sam. Hell of a lineup.
Mate, he's done very well. He's done very well. He'll be very happy with that one. Big smile on Devastator's face right now, you've got to say.
Yeah.
All right, now we've got another team picking back-to-back here. So Alpine will have picks number 11 and 12. So first pick, number 11 for Alpine. Team principal, Mozza. He's going with Glob Drip, I believe it is.
It is very quick towards the end of the last game, and I believe has improved his pace, if I'm not mistaken, on this game as well. So that's a great pick up from Mozza for pick 11.
Yeah, well done there. Not sure too much about Glob myself, but yeah, it'll be good to see how he performs. Pick number 12 for Alpine will be Apollo Pepsi, of course, everyone's favourite commentator and Tier 1 driver around the traps. Very well known and liked driver, and that's a great pick for number 12 overall for Mozza there.
Yeah, great pick, Apollo. Going all the way down to P12. He'll turn up every single week, and he'll be in contention, try and sneak a couple of podiums. So yeah, that's a good lineup for Alpine, Glob, and Apollo.
Fantastic stuff there. All right, moving on to pick 13. Back to Red Bull, Timmy. Now, he's gone with one out of the bag here, I'd have to say. Sortersy, congratulations. Pick 13 for Sortersy. Of course, he's been around couple of seasons. I had Sortesy as one of my drivers a few seasons ago for Haas. Very consistent, punchy driver out there. Won't back down, and it's a very good, solid pick there for pick 13.
Yeah, obviously I was in the same team as Orsity last time out, last season in Mercedes, and yeah, saw how quick he was. Yeah, hopefully he can go just as well this season in Red Bull.
Absolutely, mate. We are back to Aston Martin. So Ray in the chat, he's got his pick, and I've got to say, it's a bit of a contentious one this season. He's had an up and down pre-season, but he's gone with one of the regulars, one of the well-knowns, and if he can put it together, he can finish in the top 10. GLX Cam will be pick 14 for Aston Martin. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, and Cam moving away from Ferrari where he's been the last couple of seasons, but yeah, he's one lap pace for Cam. He's gotten even better on this game. Just needs to sort of just find a little bit of consistency in the races, but especially at Vegas last night was really quick, battling for the lead. Unfortunately, a little moment caused a DNF, but he's super quick, Cam. So yeah, if you can finish, if you can finish and just minimise a couple of those mistakes, Cam will be a great pickup, especially for P14. But his pace has improved a great deal in between seasons.
Yeah, reminds me of a real life Hadjar, I'd have to say, something like that. A lot of quick qualifying pace and just has to put it together in the race. All right, we have the next pick in for Ferrari, of course, team principal Aussie 2K Goat. Pick number 15 is a driver I'm pretty unsure of, Scotty, so hopefully you know a little bit about Ara Oil.
Sadly, not a lot from my point of view, sadly. So obviously in the tier 1 grid going to Ferrari, so I'd be very interested, curious to see how they go compared to this tier 1 group. But sadly, not a lot of knowledge.
Yeah, so Aussie will obviously have done his homework on this driver and pick 15. Congratulations to that driver. Can't wait to see what you can do, Mr. Oil. All right, so we'll move on to Mercedes Limitless Draco's second pick here for tier 1, pick number 16. Contentious one. I'm not sure how he's going to react in chat, but can't wait to see it. Toddy, congratulations, mate. You're going to tier 1.
Yeah, I know Toddy wanted to try and get tier 2, but I think Toddy's pace as well, massive improvement.
You can't deny it, can you?
No,
really?
As I said, he was fantastic. So sadly, he's jumping up to tier 1, but he'll do himself no disservice going up to tier 1 and chasing the quick boys, because you saw in a couple of the preseason races and results, definitely matching the best of the best.
Yeah, it's not his first time in tier 1 at Inters. He's had a play around there before, just lacked a bit of consistency in the race. If he can put it together, there's no doubt he can finish in the top 10 every weekend. All right, we're moving on to Sauber. Pick number 17 for Ashton is in. Very well-known driver around these parts. It's a great pick. The letter P, welcome back to tier 1, mate.
Yeah, letter P back there, and I believe in the Sauber again for this season, 2 seasons in a row. So obviously it was tier 1 at the beginning of last season, moved back down to tier 2, had a little bit of success, but I think his pace is obviously I think improved a little bit, and we'll see what letter P can go back can do, jumping back up into tier 1.
That's right. Yep. Okay, so we know pick 18 is going to be Websy, obviously hopping into his Williams there. So outstanding. His first pick, Finns. So Websy and Finns will be Williams tier 1 drivers for season 9. Okay, oh, fantastic pick. Jetman, I have to say, it's a previous tier 1 champion here at Inters, back in season 2, but he's been around last season. Pick number 19 for Haas, Tyler. Outstanding. Congratulations. Pick there, number 19.
Yeah, great pick. Good to see Tyler back on the grid and in a Haas this season.
All right, the final pick for tier 1 is going to be McLaren, pick number 20. Geez, there's a few good names left, but I'm surprised this guy wasn't drafted in Oz F1, and it's good to see his name is going to be called this evening. Pick number 20, Josh Riz. And WRC, the PC, congratulations, mate. Pick number 20 in the McLaren.
Oh, yeah. Apologies. I mustn't have had that on my list, unless he's not the Mirage.
Josh Riz should be ANTWRC.
He must have been added late because he wasn't on my list. Apologies for that. So I'll quickly add him in now.
All good. He probably would have been sweating not seeing his name up there, but we had you down, Josh. I see Battlecat typing in chat, so he's probably just going to confirm that the name is okay to be selected. Yep, all good there.
Nice. So, and WRC, that's a great pick as well. Great pace last season and some good racing in the preseason races as well. So very solid pick for McLaren, Miazzi, and Josh and WRC. That's a hell of a McLaren team as well.
Well, if you don't mind, Haas, Checkered Flag and Tyler. That's a hell of a lineup as well. So Haas has done so great to pick Tyler with pick number 19 there. There's some really fantastic lineups here. So, yeah, the Tier 1 boys have been cooking, no doubt about it. Even RB with Aiden and Farmer Sam. Any other standouts to you there, Scotty?
As I think Williams is going to be hard to beat. RB as well. You've got Mercedes. I think, yeah, there's going to be a fair few teams that are going to be very, very competitive.
Yep. So congratulations to the team principals there for those Tier 1 draft picks. Scotty's just going to work his magic and get the next pool up for Tier 2. And we'll get that one underway as quick as we can there. So we've got a couple of the boys in chat. Just finding out if some of the drivers are still available, who they're looking to pick. Of course, Tier 2's first pick is going to be Aston Martin. So Ray will have the first pick this evening. You give me the...
Just ramble for a minute or two, if you don't mind.
It's no problem.
So just taking a couple of names. So obviously Kai and that group obviously picked into Tier 1, so we'll get them off the list. Jamie Walker, unfortunately, the only one that missed out that was pure Tier 1, but obviously definitely some full-time seats could open later on the season. So hopefully he gets a seat in the near future. But plenty should be plenty of opportunities to reserve as well. As obviously not everyone can sort of make it each and every week.
That's exactly right. Okay. So I'm just seeing a few of the first picks come in now.
So we should be all good to
obviously, go. Okay. So obviously first up is Aston RB with the number 2 pick. Alpine has 3, Haas number 4. Ferrari has 5, so I do have the first 5 picks in here. I've got the okay from Scotty for pick number 1. So Aston Martin, Tier 2, first pick here from Ray is going to be Romsey. Congratulations, Romsey. Very consistent season last year, no doubt about it. One of the best drivers in Tier 2. We know him well from PRL. I snatched him from there a few seasons ago and obviously still kicking on over there. But we love Romsey here and congratulations, mate. Pick number 1 overall.
Yeah, and he was 1-2 for a reason. He could have easily gone Tier 1, so he's definitely going to be one of the favourites going into one of the early favourites going into this season.
No doubt about that. All right, so we'll get moving on here. Pick number 2, RB. A little bit of wheeling and dealing, I think, from the RB team principal. Devastated during the week or after the draft order was announced. But pick number 2 is going to be Zilla, who's had a very strong preseason and looking to be one of the quickest drivers out here. Congratulations, Zilla. You are going to the Racing Bulls.
Yeah, really impressed me with a couple of the races I commed over with him. So, yeah, that's definitely a great top-end pick for Tier 2. And, yeah, Devo's made a great choice there.
Absolutely, yep. I was trying to hang on to Zilla in Mozza a few nights ago, but just couldn't do it. He blazed me away, so deservedly Tier 2. Pick number 3, Alpine, of course, Mozza, the TP there, head comms at Inters Racing League. It's a fantastic pick and one of the favourite blokes here around the circuit. Head steward at Inters as well, so Tyrone, congratulations. You are going to Alpine at pick number 3.
Yeah, great pick, Tyrone. does a lot here at Inters. So very happy that he's been able to pinch up a very high pick in tier one. Tier two.
Absolutely. Right, moving on to pick number 4 for Haas. Jetman is on fire with his pick so far, and I've got to say, another outstanding pick here, Jetman. He's putting together a fire team. Broadster for hire. You did get picked. Congratulations, mate. You're going to Team Haas.
Yeah, really impressed with Broadstar. He was quick in the pre-season races as well, but I raced with him last season and for I think the first time for a majority of a season, and yeah, really impressed Broadstar's speed. So that's a very nice pickup for Jetman and Haas.
Yep. I back up everything you just said there. So pick number 5, we move on, is going to be Ferrari. Obviously, Aussie 2K goat with the pick here. Now he's picking a champion from last season, Tier 3's champion, in fact. Jay Cashmash, congratulations, mate. You are going back to Ferrari. He'll be stoked with that. And Aussie 2K goat, congratulations. Fantastic pick there.
And Cashmash is probably the one that has impressed me the most with just the outright speed difference and improvement in between games. He is absolutely flying.
Yep.
And a part of Ferrari, I'd nearly pick him to be nearly the early favourite because he's been, really, really impressive. So could he go back-to-back Tier 3 champ to Tier 2 champ?
It'd be unprecedented, but I'd put my money on him, early money on Jay Cash, because you're right, his incline has been remarkable. I was his teammate a few seasons ago, and he's just left me in the dust, so keep going, Jay Cash. All right, pick number 6, we're moving on to Team Williams. Websy, he was hesitating, but he's made his pick. Ghost Rider, you are going to Williams for Season 9, Tier 2. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, and Ghost Rider's also had a big step up in performance from what I've seen, so that's a great pickup. Thought he could have handled himself all right in Tier 1, but top of Tier 2, that puts Ghost Rider in a great chance to nab podiums on a regular basis.
Absolutely. He's well known around Inters Racing League as well, always looking to put his hand up and help out. So shout out to Ghost Rider and congratulations going to Williams. Great team there with Websy, your team principal. All right, number 7 for Tier 2, Red Bull. Timmy, he's gone with an old favourite, and these blokes know each other well. They've worked together to win championships before. Congratulations, Chill Pill, Tier 2, going to Red Bull.
Yeah, that's going to be another very quick driver and back to Red Bull. So yeah, that's a great pickup from Timmy there.
Yeah, outstanding. All right, we're going to move on quickly. The pick is in. It's McLaren, pick number 8 for Tier 2. The Battle Cat, congratulations, mate. You are going in a McLaren this season. I know you probably wanted a Ferrari, but I'm sure you'll be happy in a McLaren Frizy. Great pick there, mate. Well done.
Probably was hoping that he'd just sneak a little bit into Tier 3, but he's back in Tier 2, obviously. Previous Tier 2 champion is the Battle Cat. Obviously, medium traction this year, so it's going to be an interesting set for Battle Cat. Obviously, had a bit of practice last season in a couple of other leagues learning medium, so hopefully Battle Cat can go well this season.
Yeah, I think he will. He's the type of bloke who's just a great battler. You know what I mean? Like, backs against the wall. When push comes to shove, the Battle Cat can lock in and get the job done. So I'm sure he's going to pull the best out of himself in due time. We're going to move on to pick 9, Mercedes. And it's a great pick. I've got to say congratulations, Scotty. You are joining the Mercedes team. Limitless Draco, your team principal. Congratulations, mate.
Well, thank you very much. And Tier 2 Constructors Champs, here we come. But all in serious, thank you very much for the pick. With the amount of competitive drivers in this grid, I was not surprised to obviously drop sort of that low, but I'm very happy that Draco's picked me up. And yeah, I feel Mercedes in Tier 2 could do a lot of good things. And yeah, Draco obviously will get to his, obviously him being the second pick, he's going to be pretty much right up there as well. So happy to hopefully pinch a couple of podiums again, maybe a sneak win at Monaco like I did a couple of seasons ago. But yeah, great to be picked up and in the Merc once again.
No doubt about it. Yeah, good to see you in Tier 2 as well, Scotty. We'd like to see you battling up the top of the tier, that's for sure. So we're going to move on to Ashton's pick for Sauber. Pick number 10 in Tier 2. He's new this season. he did a couple of races last season as a reserve, and look, he looks to be a bit of a standout in the preseason. So congratulations, Guga. He's well known around the traps as well. You are going to Sauber.
Yeah, another nice pickup. Had plenty of pace in a couple of the races that I sort of raced with him last season. So yeah, very nice pickup for Ashton.
No doubt about it. Okay, so the next pick number 11, is going to be for the Racing Bulls. And contentious choice here. I think it's going to upset another team principal. I think he's had his eye on this one. But returning back to Inters Racing League, pick number 11 for the Racing Bulls is Logan. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, another great driver. Logan, very, very quick in the pre-season races as well. So, yeah, that's a fantastic pickup for Devo in the RB.
Yes, okay. And pick number 12 for Mercedes. From what I can gather here, the Battle Cat and Limitless Draco have been having the conversation, and Limitless Draco has picked himself. So they've come to a what's the word I'm looking for? They've come to an agreement. So Limitless Draco will be pick number 12 in the Mercedes. So yeah, that's with you, Scotty. Great team up.
Yeah, so as we said before, obviously he was always getting that spot, but yeah, he's going to be absolutely rapid this season. Obviously, a little bit of contention whether or not he should be tier 1, tier 2, but I think there's got to be definitely enough competition front end tier 2 that yeah, he should be he'll be in a hard slog for the 18 rounds to try and claim the drivers' championship.
Yep, I agreed there. All right, so we are up to pick 13. So McLaren, they're going to have their second pick for Tier 2 to match with the Battle Cat. And these boys are going back together as teammates. So Junkyard Dog, congratulations. Pick 13 to McLaren. He was teammates with Battle Cat in Ferrari last season, if I'm not mistaken, in Tier 2. So those boys reunite.
Yes, and they worked well together as teammates. Again, probably not quite the pace compared to a couple of the other teams last season, but I think Junkyard's looked really good on this game as well. From I believe a couple of the races I've seen. So yeah, that's a great pickup for both McLaren to have Junkyard and Battlecat in there.
Yep, great strategy pick there from Frizy, if I can get my words out. Alrighty, so Timmy, pretty sure Timmy did have his eyes on Logan, but he has got his pick in. Pick number 14 for Red Bull. Congratulations, Hato, very fast driver. Was moved up from Tier 3 a few seasons ago when he was dominating and did a great job last season, in Tier 2. So Hato to Red Bull.
Yeah, and if anything, I'm a little bit surprised he went so low. I was thinking Hato would probably go top 6, top 7, so to drop all the way down to P14, that's actually a bit of a steal from Timmy there, because I feel Hato was rapid last season, and I don't believe he's dropped any pace, so Hato could be a very nice late pick.
You're dead right, mate. And if anyone's going to slot into that Red Bull team with a bit of a fiery attitude, it's going to be Hato, so... yeah, great pick there, Timmy, I've got to say. We move on to pick 15, which will be Williams. Now, this is a driver I've got to admit I don't know much about, so hopefully you can help me out here, Scotty. Wanfo is going to Williams for pick 15. Congratulations.
Sadly, not a lot of info on my side either, but obviously in the 1-2 pot, so obviously fair bit of pace with the driver, but obviously Websy might know Wanfo, so picked him up for Williams. And if we think that he's got a lot of pace, then the pairing of him and Ghost Rider is going to be very hard to beat once again for Williams.
Yeah, I'd find it hard to believe Websy be throwing darts in the dark there. So Wanfo, one to watch for season 9 in the Williams. You've got to say congratulations. All right, we move on to pick 16. So Mozza has his second pick in, and he's been a bit of a standout in the preseason. It's going to be a good pick here. Welcome to the grid, Big Chris.
Yeah, Big Chris looking good. Pre-season, seen a bit of his pace, and yeah, that's a great pickup, especially late as well. Going to Alpine, driving alongside Tyrone.
Yep. Great team there. no doubt about it. Now we move on to pick 17. Geez, I'll tell you what, Haas, Jetman, mate, he's cooking. Now, this bloke was actually moved up last season from Tier 3. He was running away with it, and with the championship, got moved up to Tier 2 under a bit of controversial circumstances. But to be picked 17 in Tier 2, Lucas, congratulations. You're going to Haas, mate.
Yes, very, very dominant in Tier 3, and then a couple of the races he did in Tier 2 mightily quick, so it would not surprise me if has a similar amount of pace. And yeah, I think that Haas team, Broadster and Lucas, yeah, that's going to be a hell of a Haas lineup, I think.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. I will second that. Okay, so we move on to pick number 18. It's going to be Sauber's second pick here to match with Guga. And it's another slightly unknown driver here for me. So Mirage is going to be pick number 18 for Sauber. Scotty, do you know much about this driver?
Now, sadly, again, not a lot of information. So obviously, again, 1-2 pot. So again, Ashton, maybe has heard of them before. So yeah, that's another nice pickup from the 1-2 pot, and our last driver from the 1-2 pot. So Goga and Mirage, probably two of the drivers I'm not as familiar with as others. So Sauber may be a sneaky outsider for a top end Tier 2.
I think so, yeah. I think Ash might be sneakily laughing to himself there with that pick. So congratulations, Mirage. We move on to pick 19, Ferrari, of course, Aussie 2K GOAT with his final pick here to put as a teammate with Jay Cash is going to be AMW. Congratulations, AMW 9872. Yeah, let's see what you can do.
Yeah, nice choice, especially at the end. Pick 19, and yeah, almightily quick. Seen a couple of his races. Got a little bit unfortunate with a couple of the ending results, but pace was looking really good. So good pick up for Ferrari alongside Jay Cashmash.
Beautiful. Yep, I'm sure Aussie knows who he's picking there. So another great lineup for Ferrari in Tier 2. And we come down to the final pick. It's going to be Aston Martin, of course, the team principal Ray returning again for Aston Martin. Another unknown driver, but the name looks a little familiar. So it's going to be Checkered Flash. He's going to be the final pick for Tier 2 in Aston Martin. So congratulations, Checkered Flash. You will be joining Romsey for the final seat in Tier 2 there, Scotty. You know anything about Checkered Flash?
Not a lot, and when you first see the name, you probably think it's a checkered alt. But yes, sadly, not a lot about Flash. But obviously, Ray may know something else that we don't. But alongside Romsey, could actually be a very, very strong pairing. As I said, sort of the unknowns that has me intrigued in terms of how well they'll go. And obviously, I'll be on track battling alongside them. So yeah, can't wait to see how they go. So that is Tier 2 done. Obviously, a fair few drivers unfortunately missing out. But obviously, as we said, with Tier 1, plenty of seats, reserve opportunities, and we do have a couple of drivers that do have to drop out for one reason or another, so some full-time seats could obviously be there, but yeah, congratulations, I stuffed up that word, but unfortunately for the guys that missed out, but yeah, good luck to the guys that did get selected, and can't wait to see you guys out on track.
Yeah, well said, mate. Yep, we always see a driver here or there drop out, and a reserve can jump in there. So, yeah, don't be too let down, guys. If you didn't get a seat tonight, opportunities will open up. Of course, there's other leagues, and just keep grinding away, and you will get noticed. There's no doubt about it. So we'll get the pool up for Tier 3 next, and we'll run through the names. The team principals have started to throw a couple of names in there, Scotty. So you just give me the okay. Just when you're ready for the first pick.
Just give us a couple of minutes. So just run through a couple of the names if you want. Obviously, Battlecat has already been picked up, so there will be no Tier 2, Tier 3 drivers. So there are purely Tier 3 drivers on this list.
Of course. So the Battlecat will be taken off. Look, we've got a name here that stands out, Ads. He's returning. He's an Inters Racing League legend. He's been here since the beginning. And look, I haven't seen him do any preseason, but he's put his name up. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes to Red Bull at some point. We've got a couple of drivers returning like Bopton. Good to see him back. Damo. New driver like Cubbing Unseen, who I think's got a good amount of pace. Dan the Racer as well. He's been around Inters for a while. Deadly Fuller. Turns Domwar, of course, in Tier 3, was in Tier 2 last season, so he's got some pace about him. Been here since Season 1 as well, Domwar, all the way from America. Fat Eagle, Ethimon, we know. Kimi Antonelli, GOAT, is a new one. Kingy, of course, was an outstanding driver a few seasons ago and just adjusting to medium traction. Footy Bender's been around the traps. P-Mac and Peanut. Pugsy, of course, has improved out of sight since he joined halfway through last season. Quiet Cake, bloody legend. Who doesn't know him? RK Gaming, who finished I'm pretty sure he was runner-up after we moved up Lucas. So RK Gaming should go early, you'd say. Zandon, of course, returning for Season 9. Mercy, everyone's favourite Oz F1 owner, obviously apart from T8. And OFI driver, Tier 3 standout Mercy, should be going in the top 5, you'd imagine. Shining Swarm, Sevi, Tornado. I think I've named just about everyone there, mate.
Yeah, no, so I'm just about ready to go. I did see Kingy's comment in the chat, so just confirm with us if you can't actually attend Friday nights, because I'll check you off the list straight away. So we'll run through the top order. Just let us know, because obviously I don't want you on the list and someone picks you up and you can't race. So just just clarify that with us if you can, Kingy, if you're still there. Bruce, if I am ready to go, if we've got our pick ones, our pick one in or not?
Yeah, we certainly do. We are ready to go. So without further hesitation, the Ferrari has the first pick for Tier 3, and Aussie 2K GOAT has selected Mercy. So congratulations, Mercy. Pick number 1 overall. You're in a Ferrari, mate.
Yes, very good pick. Obviously, no assists, Mercy. I've picked him up in another league, so obviously I've had the same thought as Aussie. I think Mercy will be very, very quick. Obviously, it's just going to be whether or not he's got time to sort of manage to do enough practice with the no assist to sort of be right up there. But I think Mercy is a great pick one in Tier 3.
Yeah, no doubt about it, mate. Mercy in Tier 3. You can't go too far astray picking him. As long as he doesn't come out of the pits and put it in the wall, I'm sure he'll score points week in, week out. Number 2 pick is in for Sauber. So Ashton is gone with his good mate Zandon. So congratulations, Zandon. You will be racing in a Sauber for Inters for Season 9 in Tier 3, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, not the first team that these two have been paired up in another league as well, so it does not surprise me whatsoever that Zandon's been put into the Sauber. So the two comms, the two squeakers in the Sauber. I made that joke in Oz, so I'll make it again. But yeah, that's a solid pairing between the two. So Zandon goes pick 2.
Yeah, that's what came to mind also, the squeaking. But yep, well done, Zandon. Congratulations, mate. And of course, we've heard nothing but good things about his pace in the last few seasons. So, yep, outstanding choice there. Pick 3 is in for Haas, and I've got to say, a little one under the radar for me. I'm not sure. Fill me in if you can, but congratulations, Cross-Eyed Gaming. Pick 3 going to Haas.
Yes, very quick. Raced him last season or a couple of seasons ago, and he'll be very competitive in this Tier 3 grouping. So, yeah, that's a great pick for Jetman. Jetman's been able to nail a lot of his picks. A lot of his picks have been great. So
yeah,
watch for Haas to be an early contender for the overalls.
Absolutely. I think, unfortunately, Haas finished on the bottom last season, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Jetman will pull me up pretty quickly. But no, he's been picking absolutely on fire so far. So we're going to move on to pick number 4, Aston Martin. Team principal, Ray. Great pick, mate. RK Gaming, congratulations. You'll be driving in an Aston Martin for Season 9.
Yeah, another great pick, and no surprise that RK's gone early in this Tier 3 draft. So again, plenty of good speed in this grouping. So yeah, that's a great pickup for Aston Martin.
Yep, no doubt about it. Okay, so next pick is in Williams, team principal Websy, pick number 5. Congratulations, this bloke. I tell you what, he's been improving out of sight, and look, I wouldn't be surprised if he's benefiting from a little bit of training, because to have this pick number 5, it's a bit surprising. Pugsy, congratulations, mate. Full-time seat going into a Williams.
Yeah, great pick. Another great pick up from Websy. Pugsy goes to Williams pick 5. Yeah, that's another great shout from Websy.
Yeah, great bloke too, I've got to say. All right, so no hesitation. We're just going to keep rolling on here. Pick number 6 for Red Bull is in Timmy. He's gone with Quiet Cake, so congratulations, Quiet Cake. That's a great pick. Quiet Cake's been around the traps. He's very well known. Of course, runs Lads Motorsport Racing League and doing outstanding over there. So congratulations, Cake. You're in a Red Bull for season 9.
Yeah, shout out to Cake, and yeah, could be a competitor in this grid. I know a couple of his time trial times are very impressive. So yeah, Cakey joining Timmy at Red Bull, and yeah, just a nice lineup of drivers Timmy's grabbed. So one more left to go. We'll find out very shortly.
Absolutely. Yep, congratulations, Cake, once again. All right, so we are going to move on to pick number 7. It's team principal Frizy, who's had a pretty good draft, you've got to say, so far. He's going with one of the well-known guys, and I'm pretty sure was battling for a championship last season in Oz F1. Dan the Racer, congratulations, mate. You've been picked number 7 going into a McLaren.
Yeah, it's a great pick. The Tier 3 DRS champion, Dan the Racer, had a great battle with Ashton for that championship last season. So those two will cross paths once again on this grid. But Dan, definitely, he's got an aggressive style out on track, and a lot of the time that really works for him. So that's a great pickup for McLaren. And yeah, waiting to see good things from Dan this season here at Inters.
No doubt about it. Yeah, Dan the Racer, well known, and good luck to him in the McLaren this season. Okay, we move on to pick 8, and it's going to be Alpine, team principal, everyone's favourite commentator, head comms actually at Inters for season 9, Mozza, and he's going to put myself in the Alpine, so thank you, Mozza. I appreciate it. Broseph will be going and driving in the Alpine for season 9. I appreciate it, mate. It's a bit high, I thought, for me, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, while we're sort of on that, how are you feeling with this game and coming into the season? How are you feeling?
Mate, to be honest, it's the best I've felt in the last couple of iterations. So I was struggling a bit a few seasons ago with medium traction, and actually went full traction for the first time in about 75% of the races last season, and was to do my best to really keep up. But so far with this game, I've got a fair bit of pace and been keeping up with the likes of Battlecat and whatnot. So yeah, I'm enjoying it and should be up the point again, hopefully.
Good to hear. Now, Aussie, obviously, bit of a trade after the lottery. So pick 1 and pick 9. So should have 2 really good drivers in tier 9. In tier 3, who is pick number 9 for Aussie?
Pick number 9 for Aussie is going to be Bopton. So congratulations, Bopton, going into the Ferrari for season 9.
Yeah, another great pickup from Aussie, and that's a hell of a team. Mercy and Bompton leading Ferrari's charge in tier 3.
Absolutely. We move on to the Mercedes, who have got back-to-back picks here. So pick number 10 in the Merc, Limitless Draco, has selected Kimi Antonelli Goat. Congratulations, mate. You're in the Merc for season 9.
Yeah, great pickup. I've only seen a little bit of him, so knowledge is not quite there, but I think Kimi's going to be one of the guys that will be fighting for this championship, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know much about him either, so it will be interesting to see how he battles out there in the Mercedes. And his teammate, back-to-back picks for Mercedes, Kingy. Congratulations, Kingy. You'll be in a Mercedes again for another season with teammate Kimi. So I think those two will do great together, I've got to say.
Yeah, great pickup from Kingy. I know you saw in the chat that he was having a couple of PS5 issues, but once he gets them sorted, it'd be great to have him as part of Team Mercedes.
No doubt about it. Okay, so the next pick will be RB for pick 12. So the Racing Bulls, they've gone with a stalwart of Inters Racing League, everyone's favourite, the almightiest of gobs, Almighty Gob. Congratulations, mate. You'll be in a Racing Bull for season 9.
Yeah, great. Just an great bloke, Gob. So very happy to have him in a seat. And, you know, Gob's always going to consistently bring home the points for RB. So yeah, that's a great shout from Devo there.
All right, so the next pick will be Alpine. We're just on a little bit of a hesitation. So I'll just have to waffle on. It's actually going to be my teammate. And the pick has just come in. And you little beauty, Evil Blade, is going to be pick number 13, going to Alpine. He's someone I know pretty well. I raced with him in comms at least last season with the likes of, Quiet Cake and the boys. Evil Blade is a great bloke. A lot of pace there, so we should do really well together. Great pick. Congratulations, Evil Blade.
Great pick and rounding out the Alpine Tier 3 team very nicely with yourself. So looking forward to seeing how you two do in the Alpine.
Yes, yeah, me too. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. So, all right, so pick number 14, of course. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Frizy putting himself in that seat. That's what I'm reading.
Yeah, I've already nabbed him in the in that pick. Indicated full time, so obviously the TP of McLaren alongside Dan the Racer. So that could be a tasty little fight between those two. But yeah, McLaren looking good as well in Tier 3.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. Great team up there. So, all right, the next pick is in. So Red Bull, Timmy. The last pick for Red Bull, he's going with another well-known driver that he's worked with before. Broken Reptile is in Tier 3. Congratulations, Broken Reptile. You've got another full-time seat at Inters Racing League.
Yeah, good to see Broken Reptile in. I believe he took a little bit of break. I hadn't sort of seen him around a lot as of late, but good to see him back and in the Red Bull team. Could do some nice things alongside Quiet Cake.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's actually not a bad matchup at all. So congratulations on a good draft there, Timmy, and a safe flight tonight. I know he has just boarded a plane and he's about to take off. So, all right, we move on to pick number 16, Williams. It's his last pick, Websy, the champion from a couple of seasons ago at Inters. And I've got to say, it's a fantastic pick to finish it off for Williams. Dom War, you are going to Williams' full-time seat in Tier 3 after a great stint in Tier 2 last season. So look for Dom War to be an outstanding driver in Tier 3 this season.
Yeah, very good to see Dom War in the Wombs in Tier 3. So I know it was sort of towards the lower part of the Tier 2 grid, but dropping back down to Tier 3, hopefully we can see some good things from Dom War. So very happy with that pick from Websy.
Absolutely, and Dom War been here since season 1, so shout out to him. All right, Aston Martin with the next pick number 17. So Ray has chosen to go with Fat Eagle. Congratulations, Fat Eagle. You'll be in an Aston Martin for season 9.
Yeah, very happy to see Fat Eagle get picked. Unfortunately, missed out on another league with a full-time seat. So Nabs, the second last pick remaining. So very nice job, and is in the Aston Martin alongside RK Gaming. So yeah, that's a great pick up there. So
it is, as long as
no, I was just going to say, yeah, it was a great pick. Obviously, one pick left as Jetman and Ashton are picking themselves. They were on the full-time list, so we should only have one RB pick remaining.
Correct. You're right. Yes, surprising. With the last pick, it is going to one of the remaining drivers who we haven't seen here for quite some time, but Ads, congratulations, mate. You are going to pick up the final seat in the draft of Inters Racing League for Season 9. Drafted into a Racing Bull seat. Congratulations.
Yes, nabbing the last pick as Ads does, but yeah, great to see him back on the Tier 3 grid and on a grid just in general here at Inters. So yeah, shout out to Ads.
Yep, well done. And yep, that wraps up the draft for Season 9, Scotty. And I've got to say, there's some outstanding names, obviously. And when you look at the names, you match them together, and there's some outstanding teammates. And when you put all the teammates together, there's going to be some outstanding teams. So a couple that just come to the top of the mind at the moment would have to be Haas, of course. You've got Ferrari there, obviously Williams, some great picks, Mercedes as well, Alpine. Geez, a lot of the boys have done really well tonight, mate. What are you seeing so far?
No, it's gonna be a great season ahead. And while we're on that, let's have a look at each team's lineup, shall we? First up with the Alpine team. So you can see Mozza has Globdrip and Apollo in tier 1. Tier 2, you have Tyrone and Big Chris. And in tier 3, you have yourself, Broseph, and Evil Blade. That's not a bad lineup for Alpine.
Yeah, very happy with that. And of course, me and Tyrone getting to be in the same team again. We'll be stoked with that one. Well done, Mozza. Congratulations on picking a good lineup there, mate. Well done.
As we head over to Aston Martin now, led by Ray Ray, you got Zox and Cam in tier 1. In tier 2, you have Romsey and Checkered Flash. And in tier 3, you have RK Gaming and Fat Eagle.
Yeah, look, outstanding. Couple of picks there. Zox obviously matched up with Cam. Romsey is a standout. Checkered Flash, we don't know much about. RK Gaming is going to do very well. And as long as Fat Eagle can keep his nose clean, that team will do very well.
As we head over to the Red Bull team now, led by Timmy, you've got Kyotonic and Saucity in tier 1, Chill Pill and Hado in tier 2, and then in tier 3, you've got Quiet Cake and Broken Reptile.
Yeah, you've got to say Timmy's done it again. Kyo's a bit of a standout, but I've got to say a bit of a strategic pick there. Tier 2, obviously, their most strongest there with Chill Pill, former Tier 1 driver, and Hado, outstanding in Tier 2 last season. Quiet Cake and Broken Reptile, quite well known at Inters. Well done.
As we head over, a little bit of bias showing the mighty Mercedes team, led by Limitless Draco. It is Jono and Toddy in tier 1, myself and Draco himself in tier 2, and then in tier 3, you've got Kimmy, Antgoat, and Kingy.
Yep, very strong lineup. As long as Toddy can back up Jono, keep it on track each week. Scotty, obviously outstanding for tier 2 with Limitless Draco in the top 5 last season. That's very strong. Kimmy Antonelli and Kingy, as long as those two blokes can work together, I think Mercedes is going to be up the top end of the field.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how the 6 drivers have looked out. Draco's done a fantastic job for this draft. As we head over to McLaren, led by Ferrazzi, you've got Meowsy and Ant WRC or Josh in tier 1, Battle Cat and Junkyard Doggy pairing up once again in tier 2, and then in tier 3, you've got Dan the Racer and Ferrazzi the TP himself rounding off that grid.
Well, the pressure didn't get to Fry's first team principal run here at Inters. Meowsy was the first pick, backed up very strongly by Josh Riz. You got the Battle Cat and Junkyard working together well, and Dan the Racer and Fry's outstanding. Well done, McLaren.
Yeah, great picks as we head over to, I think, one of the better TPs in terms of picks tonight. That is a mighty lineup. Checkered Flag and Tyler in tier 1. In tier 2, Broadstar and Lucas. And then in tier 3, it is Jetman himself alongside Cross-Eyed Gaming. That is a strong cast lineup.
Yeah, probably the draft of the night, I'd have to say. Well done, Jetman. You've absolutely cashed in tonight. Outstanding, mate.
RB is up next. Devastator leading that. And you've got Aiden Williams in the tier 1 spot alongside Farmer Sam. Very strong lineup. Zilla and Logan in tier 2, and Almighty Gob and Ads returns to the tier 3 grid.
Yeah, very strong lineup there from Devastator. He'll be very happy with his picks there. Tier 1's going to work together very strongly. Tier 2, as long as Logan and Zilla can form some type of teamwork, and Gobby and Ads, those two go way back. So well done, Devo. Great lineup, mate.
Mighty Ferrari is up next, led by Aussie. It is Sir Joshy and ARL Ollie in tier 1, J Cash Mash and AMW in tier 2, and Mercy and Bompton in tier 3.
Yeah, look, I think it was another strong draft here. Aussie knows what he's doing. J Cash, former champion, Mercy as well. Sir Joshy, OFI driver, Bompton returns. Very strong lineup. Well done, Ferrari.
Is next, led by Ashton. Fat Cat Batman, a sneaky outsider to win the championship in tier 1 alongside Letter P, Goga and Mirage in tier 2, and then Xanon and Ashton himself in tier 3.
Ashton knows what he's doing. As I said, team principal around the traps. Drafted very strongly, looking in tier 2. Relative unknown, Fat Cat Batman, but I think he'll be a standout as well. Letter P, very well known, should do well. And of course, tier 3, what a matchup. Well done, Ash.
And last but not least, Websy leading the Mighty Williams, and it is Finns and Websy, probably your favourite tier 1 lineup for an early shout at the championship. Ghost Rider and Wonfo in tier 2, and Pugsy and Domwar rounding out tier 3.
Yeah, I'd have to agree that tier 1 lineup, probably one of the strongest. And tier 3 as well, I've got to say, if Pugsy can put it together for a full racing season. He'll be outstanding with Don Moore, no doubt about it, and Tier 2 looking very strong. Great job, Websy.
And that is all 10 teams. So, Broseph, that's been a hell of a draft. And yeah, there's definitely 4 to 5 teams that could potentially win the overall championship this season.
No doubt about it. We're checkered flash out of the way. Timmy's return. There's just a bit of spice added for season 9. And just before we get out of here, Scotty, just want to say a very big thank you, obviously, to you. Outstanding delivery tonight for organising the draft. As always, such a smooth operator and operation. So thank you. Also, a big thank you to Tetris, our graphics and design wizard, for his remarkable dedication to the Inters Racing League, to our other co-owner, the Battlecat, for his detailed preparation in getting Season 9 up to date. He works tirelessly, and to have the league running like clockwork, thank you, Battlecat. To our admin team, Tyrone and the stewards, Mozza, the comms team, team principals, drivers, and to our community at large, bring on Season 9. Let's go. Thank you, Scotty.
Yeah, I can't wait. And we're only 5 days away. Tier 3, it gets underway for round 1 in 5 days' time. Round 1 is at Canada, Montreal. So join us then Friday, 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for Tier 3. Tier 2 is Saturday at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And then Sunday, Tier 1, 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So 3 very stacked tiers. I can't wait for this one. Thank you everyone for watching the draft. Can't wait to be with you and in the comms box for the season ahead. Broseph, big thank you for helping me in with me tonight. Pleasure as always.
Thanks, mate. My pleasure, and can't wait to get the season underway. We'll see you on Friday night, everyone.
Yeah, all right. Very good night to you all. Can't wait to see you next week, round 1 Canada.